12 days before an election, when he was 30 points down, he goes ahead and files the resentencing motion, a motion, by the way, he could have filed 8 months earlier when he got the first request to file that motion.
Hochman also said the brothers have not taken responsibility for their actions and lied repeatedly about why they killed their parents.
So it's not enough to just say, I killed my parents. When you've gone ahead and you perpetrated all these additional lies and cover-up and continue to perpetrate those additional lies and cover-up to this very day. Not only did they concoct a self-defense that was a complete fabrication, but they also tried to get their friends to lie on their behalf.
However, a deputy district attorney who worked with Gascon says the motion for resentencing on behalf of the brothers was not filed for political reasons.
We filed it according to the law. We did our thorough research. We did our thorough preparation. We filed a legal document. This wasn't political. This wasn't an attempt to gain an advantage of some sort. It was simply following the law.
Their work isn't performative. It's purposeful. It's real. We look forward to a full, fair presentation of who Eric and Lyle are today, not just a version frozen in time, in a time of pain and fear, but the whole truth.
The brothers, who are in their 50s now, were 21 and 18 years old when they shot and killed their parents back in 1989. They claim they suffered terrible abuse by their parents, including sexual abuse by their father, and they say they acted out in self-defense. On Friday, a judge rejected the request filed by Hochman's office to toss out the resentencing motion filed by George Gascon. The judge determined there was no legal valid reason to not go forward with the resentencing hearing. This clears a path for potential freedom for the brothers. The resentencing hearing is scheduled to begin on Thursday. Back to you.
Thank you, Christina. And now it's Alicia now instead of Lisa. I have a question regarding this docuseries, because so many people around the country, around the world saw it. It rated great and all that. But people in California have been living with this case intimately for decades. How would you see, as a reporter there in California and in Los Angeles, the influence that it has had on the community there and the opinions around not only Gascon, who has been accused of using this for political reasons to move things forward, but also now for Hochman?
I mean, there's a lot of attention to it. It's a huge case here. You have tourists who drive past that area where this crime occurred. So there's a lot of interest in it. The docuseries did well. A lot of people were really interested to see what happened, and you have people who feel very strongly that the brothers should be freed, and you have others who feel very strongly that they should remain in jail because this was a horrific crime. So we will have to see what happens.
Christina Giano here. I was with the district attorney just a few weeks ago, and he's been consistent in what he feels to be them not apologizing for their actions. They're coming or being honest about it. What would you say to Governor Gavin Newsom? What would you say his actions are on this, and Kim Kardashian's?
Well, Kim Kardashian is calling for their freedom. She put a post out on her Instagram that got a lot of attention where, she basically says it's time for them to be free. As for Governor Gavin Newsom, he asked the parole board to do a risk assessment on the brothers. He hasn't said either way whether he supports it, them being released or not, but this is obviously on his radar, and he asked the parole board to do a risk assessment of it, and they actually do have a hearing scheduled with the parole board on June 13th.
Christina, the Menendez brothers team, they have pointed to what they call new evidence in relation to the father's alleged abuse. What role has that played in all of this as well?
Well, they got a lot of attention. Again, this involved a letter that one of the brothers had apparently written months before the actual killing. Hochman, questions the validity of that letter. And again, he says that the boys have not taken full responsibility for their crime. But you do have the defense attorneys, them saying that this letter proves that they were sexually abused, and that has gotten a ton of attention. This is coming after the Me Too movement, and a lot of people saying, there needs to be more attention to people saying that they have experienced this kind of abuse and trauma. So you have a lot of people in support of the boys who are saying if they did go through that, that should definitely be taken into consideration. So again, we'll have to see what happens coming up.
Christina Coleman, thanks for following this for us. We appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.